Oh, Martha Stewart, what a disappointment. Martha questioning Meghan's credibility in the lifestyle space is the kind of delusion only a rich white woman can afford. The woman did time for insider trading and somehow thinks she's the gold standard for taste? Be serious. Let's just start here. Martha Stewart built her brand selling rich white woman fantasy. Homemade jam, hand-pressed linens, the illusion of perfection wrapped in pastels and privilege. And for that, she was hailed a pioneer. And now that Meghan is creating a lifestyle brand rooted in modern elegance, cultural nuance, and actual relevance, it's suddenly, I hope she knows what she's talking about. No, Martha, you hope she fails. Because Meghan represents something that terrifies women like you. A black woman occupying a space she was never supposed to touch. A space designed to exclude her. Lifestyle, wellness, luxury. These were white women domains. Unspoken rules. Unofficial gates. And Meghan didn't just step through the door. She renovated the damn house and made it better. And now that she's thriving, you're threatened. You had no smoke for Gwyneth when she started Goop. With pseudoscience and overpriced nonsense. You let her slide on yoni eggs, aura sprays, and unregulated health advice. But Meghan launches products and a Netflix show with a clean aesthetic, a grounded voice, and actual market appeal. And now suddenly you're concerned with authenticity? You're not protecting the industry. You're protecting the hierarchy. What's eating you isn't Meghan's credibility. It's her presence. She walked into a space that historically centered white women and said, I belong here too. And that's what makes you uncomfortable. Because when a black woman finally redefines the standard, you're no longer the default. Once Meghan makes lifestyle elegant, without erasing her identity, without controlling herself for white comfort, your brand of aspirational whiteness stops being the only blueprint. And let's be honest, you're not curious about her show. You're watching it to nitpick. You're hoping for a stumble. But Meghan doesn't stumble. She elevates. She adapts. And unlike you, she doesn't need a prison redemption arc or a rap cosign to stay relevant. She brings something you can't buy. Cultural capital, global intrigue, a story that actually matters. So keep throwing your passive-aggressive shade. Meghan's not worried about you. She's not pressed. She's not impressed. She's busy doing what you can't. Evolving with the times. You're not a gatekeeper. You're a relic. So sit down, you're washed up. The era of white women lifestyle monopoly is over. Meghan owns her lane now. And you're in the way. So move over.
I totally agree with JTB on that. Who does Martha Stewart think she is? Excuse me, ma'am, are you God to question people's authenticity? Maybe you should check yours first before checking other people's. In the glossy, aspirational world of lifestyle branding, where perfectly curated kitchens, organic jams, and wellness tips reign supreme, Martha Stewart has long been the undisputed queen. But when Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, dipped her toe into this space with her brand As Ever and her Netflix series With Love, Meghan Stewart couldn't resist throwing a little shade. In a recent interview, Stewart mused about the importance of authenticity and hoped Meghan knows what she's talking about. It's a comment that reeks of gatekeeping, especially coming from someone who's built an empire on domestic perfection. Why would Stewart, at 83 and with decades of experience under her belt, feel the need to question whether a newcomer like Meghan can hold her own? Is it really about expertise, or is it something deeper? Like the discomfort of seeing a black woman thrive in an arena that white women have historically claimed as their own. Let's unpack this. Stewart's remarks weren't outright vicious. They were the kind of subtle jab that lands with a polite smile but stings nonetheless. She emphasized that authenticity to me is everything, and to be authentic and knowledgeable about your subject matter is extremely important. Fair enough on the surface. Who doesn't value genuineness? But the implication is clear. Meghan might not have what it takes. Stewart even contrasted her with Gwyneth Paltrow, praising Goop's founder for her authenticity while casting doubt on Meghan's venture. It's a classic move: elevate one woman, white, established, while subtly undermining another, black, emerging. Why the skepticism? Meghan isn't some random celebrity pivoting to sell candles. She's been navigating public life with grace, from her acting days to her royal duties, and now to building a brand rooted in her personal experiences. Think about it. Why would Stewart assume Meghan doesn't know her stuff? Meghan has always been vocal about her love for cooking, hosting, and wellness. Before she even married into royalty, she ran a successful lifestyle blog called The Tig, where she shared recipes, travel tips, and reflections on self-care. That blog wasn't just fluff, it was a genuine extension of her interests, drawing from her California roots and her biracial heritage. Fast forward to As Ever, which launched in April with promises of artisanal products like jams and home goods, and her Netflix show, which invites viewers into her world of everyday luxury. If authenticity means drawing from one's lived experiences, Meghan seems to embody it. She's not pretending to be a domestic goddess, she's sharing what she knows, from farm-fresh ingredients to mindful living. So Martha, what's the real issue here? Could it be that Meghan's entry threatens the status quo? This isn't just about two women in the same industry, it's about the invisible barriers that Black women face when they dare to succeed in spaces dominated by white gatekeepers. The lifestyle world, think Martha Stewart Living, Goop, or even Oprah's early empire, has often been a playground for white women to peddle perfection. It's all about that polished, aspirational image-crisp linens, seasonal tablescapes, and the subtle art of making homemaking look effortless. But when a Black woman like Meghan steps in, suddenly the rules change. Questions of authenticity pop up, as if her background somehow disqualifies her. Stewart's comments echo a long history of exclusion, where women of color are scrutinized more harshly for doing the exact same things their white counterparts do without a second glance. Take a step back and consider the double standards at play. Stewart herself wasn't born with a silver spoon. She built her brand from scratch after a career in stockbroking and modeling. She faced her own challenges, including a high-profile prison stint in 2004 for insider trading, yet she bounced back stronger, rebranding as the resilient queen of domesticity. No one questions her authenticity now, despite the scandals. Paltrow, whom Stewart praised, started Goop as a newsletter and turned it into a multi-million-dollar empire, complete with controversial wellness advice like jade eggs and steam treatments. Critics have called out Goop for pseudoscience, but Stewart hails it as authentic. Meanwhile, Meghan's jam, literally her strawberry jam sent to influencers, gets eyed with suspicion. Why the disparity? It smacks of racial bias, whether intentional or not. Black women in business are often accused of being inauthentic or opportunistic, as if their success must be a fluke rather than earned. And let's not forget the competitive edge. The lifestyle market is crowded, with everyone from Reese Witherspoon to Joanna Gaines vying for a slice of the pie. But Meghan brings something unique: her global platform, her advocacy for mental health and feminism, and her ability to blend royal elegance with an approachable Californian vibe. Her Netflix series isn't just about recipes, it's about love, community, and resilience, themes that resonate deeply in a post-pandemic world. Stewart's hope that Meghan knows what she's talking about feels like a preemptive dismissal, as if to say, stay in your lane. But why should Meghan? She's not encroaching, she's innovating. If Stewart truly believes in authenticity, she should celebrate diverse voices rather than casting doubt. This gatekeeping isn't new. History is riddled with examples of white women closing ranks when women of color rise. In the beauty industry, Rihanna's Fenty Beauty disrupted the market by prioritizing inclusivity, forcing established brands to catch up. In media, Oprah Winfrey built an empire despite constant scrutiny. Meghan's foray into lifestyle is similar. She's challenging the notion that this space belongs to a certain demographic. By questioning her knowledge, Stewart perpetuates the idea that Black women must prove themselves twice as hard. Why would someone like Stewart, who's overcome her own hurdles, not extend the same grace? It makes you wonder if it's less about expertise and more about protecting turf. Meghan's success speaks for itself. As Ever sold out its initial jam batches quickly, and her show has garnered buzz for its heartfelt approach. She's not just selling products, she's building a narrative around empowerment and joy. Critics like Stewart might see her as a threat because she's winning, garnering attention, partnerships, and fans who appreciate her fresh perspective. In a space where white women have long set the trends, Meghan's presence forces a reckoning. Who gets to define authenticity? Is it the veteran like Stewart with her polished empire, or the newcomer like Meghan, infusing it with diversity and modernity? The problem isn't Meghan, it's the resistance to change. Stewart's comments highlight how entrenched privilege can lead to subtle sabotage. Instead of welcoming competition that enriches the industry, some prefer to slam the gates shut. But Meghan is already inside. thriving despite the doubts. Her brand isn't about imitating Stewart or Paltrow, it's about authenticity on her terms, blending cultures, advocating for causes, and inviting everyone to the table. Why does Stewart think Meghan couldn't hold up? Perhaps it's insecurity, or maybe it's the unconscious bias that plagues even the most successful. Whatever the reason, it's wild to see a pioneer like Stewart question a trailblazer like Meghan. The lifestyle space isn't owned by anyone. It's evolving, and Meghan is leading the charge. If authenticity means being true to oneself, Meghan has it in spades. Stewart's shade only underscores that Meghan is doing something right. She's disrupting, and that's terrifying to those who thought they owned the crown. This kerfuffle reveals more about the industry's flaws than about Meghan's capabilities. Black women have always had to navigate these spaces with extra scrutiny, proving their worth at every turn. Meghan isn't the problem. She's the solution, bringing inclusivity to a world that desperately needs it. Stewart's dig might sting, but it won't stop the momentum. Meghan is winning, and that's precisely why the gates are slamming. Too late, though, because she's already reshaped the landscape.